shot by Senior Crawford Dodge that were honest to the elders of JMS who's pushing the street poetry and sincerity show on. And this is gonna be a quick little uh, video about these women, you know. And I'm just gonna read two scriptures and then get into a few videos, you know. Let's see. This is Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voices, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days shall and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. So eventually, these women they're not gonna have nobody to cater to them, man. You know, we live in a society where women is put on a pedestal, and these simps are out here, catering to these women, man. You know, and the funny thing is, you'll be around, like at your work, man. You'll have these simps, you know, that you call boss and whatnot, and they'll look at you upside the head, like they'll smack the shit out of you, but behind closed doors, they're simping, man. You know, and brothers, you know, we should be far gone from this mindset of simping and putting these women on a pedestal, man, because we see what women bring, man, and it brings forth death, man. But even though there's a hierarchy to where the men is supposed to be first, and I mean, there's numerous accounts that men went through with these women when they put women over them, man. You know, their whole family structure fails, you know. For example, I took a Uber or Lyft not too long ago, man, and this was a heathen nation, you know. He looked like a heathen. I mean, he looked like a heathen, you know. He could be a Jake, but to my point, you know, he looked like he came from he could be from the Middle East, man, you know. And that's just what I seen. He looked like he could be from the Middle East, man. And I guess his woman went back to his country, wherever that they from, I forgot. But he was explaining to me to where it didn't work out because she didn't her emotions wasn't being met, man. He wasn't catering to her emotions, man. You know, and in his eyes, he was saying that he was doing everything right. You know, he was taking care of his family, he was loving on her, but this westernized mindset that Babylon push on these women, you know, put them in a mindset of being catered to, man. You know, and you know, skipping through, man. You know, it didn't work out. They got a divorce. I think he had kids. The kids stayed over there with the mother. You know, now he moved back to the United States, man. Now he's doing Lyft and doing this as a side job, man. You know, and he has no family out here but him, you know. And he was just telling me, like, man, you got to be more catering to these women emotions, which, you know, I was just agreeing, but deep down, man, I already knew that most of these women here in America, man, they're whores and sluts, and that's what they want to be, man. You know, they want to be whores and sluts, you know, and you really can't take these women over here seriously, man. You know, because America, you know, it's a done deal, man. You know, here in America, these women aren't really women, man. They're children, man. You know, and their mindset isn't building up the household. It's more of tearing it down based on their emotions and what they see on social media and what the algorithms and them single friends feed them, man. You know, and it sucks, but this is just how it is, you know, in the society that we live in, man. You know, and it's so stupid, man, you know, but it's just how it is, you know, and you really can't do nothing about it. But you know, he was telling me that you need to cater to these women emotions, but you know, at times come time is is gonna show forth in these women, man. Time is gonna show forth because we're right here on the edge of a draft, a major draft coming, man. You know, and we're gonna see how these women deal, man. Which we already know, man. You know, it gets to the point to where nothing really has to be proven, man, because it's all gonna untangle itself, man. You know, because these women, they know deep down they're not fit to be in a man's position to go and shoot and kill people, man. You know, and you know, these women, you know, they had it coming, man. Seeing these prideful, especially Eve, man, prideful ass Eve, doing security work, going to the army, thinking she could do it all on herself, complaining and trying to get sympathy for raising 3 or 4 kids, man, from no good dirty pastor, man, down dirty pastor, man. Trying to get sympathy. It all is gonna show forth, man. These women, they tore down their households, and then they want to play the blame game on the men, like it's always men's fault. And then I bet there's a movement for single moms. The washed up mom that played the whore and the slut. Now she got 3 or 4 kids, and nobody really wants to tie her down, man. And it's like a bad commercial on replay, man. And we see it numerous of times, man. And it just gets old, man. But the fatigue is about to be done away with, man. These women are gonna be brought back to their natural state, man. Even you got married women doing the same shit, man. Out here hoeing, being sluts, man. It's nothing old, man. This is what Babylon produces. This is what America produces, man. But it's coming to a time to where we're not gonna have to cater. Well, we shouldn't be catering to women, but some brothers, like myself, man, we live with for the time being, we live under a woman, so it's like every brother got a different situation, but my situation to where I have to kind of like just stay out the way, man. Not cause too much trouble, man. And if be lenient about it, man. Catering to these women, man. Which it gets on my damn nerve, man. But to damn keep a spot, over my head, for the time being, to where I can find something else, that's just what it is, man. But that's besides the point. The thing is to know, to be aware, man, because a lot of men aren't aware that they're simping and catering to these women, man. And I was talking to a girl, a girl at the bar, a woman at the bar, which I'll say she a girl, man, because she hasn't fully, most of these women, they're not fully developed yet in their minds, man. She could be 21 and then she'll act 16, man. She could be 30 and acting like she's 20, man. And we've seen it numerous of times, man. Numerous of times, man. But going forth, man. I was chopping it up with her, and she said she's busy tomorrow. I asked her what she's doing tomorrow. She said she's busy, blah 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 blah, and she needs an oil change, and I was like I can, I know how to work on a few cars, I know what I'm doing, and I told her, I'll pay, you give me $20 to $30, I'll do an oil change myself, instead of going to the damn to the shopping, paying $40-50 for a damn oil change, man. I was just trying to help her out, man. But beside me, I had these two simps, man. And Jake, man. It was 2 Jake simps, man, and they was telling me, man, that's not how you play it, man. That's not how you keep it keep a player or something like that. And they was like, you supposed to do that for free. And even the girl agreed. And, you know, it was a big old discussion about me, you know, breaking my back to go over to this bitch's house and do an oil change for her ass for free, man. You know, I'm not doing that shit, man. You know, and brothers shouldn't be bending backwards for free for these women, man. You know, these women, they'll spread their legs equally as fast as you do a free oil change, you know, so to say. You know, these women, they're tainted, man. You know, and ultimately they'll spread their legs for any damn body, man. You know, being on the right person, and if they're tall enough, you know, and if they got some flashy shoes and necklaces on, you know, they'll spread their legs for anybody, man. You know, but you know, that it's stupid, man. You know, because why would I break my neck, go out my way, you know, to put you into my damn schedule to go over to your house and get underneath your car for free, man? You know, I was just trying to help her out. You know, I was just being courteous. You know, being nice. You know. But other than that, man, these bitches out here are gone, man. You know, and these bitches are, especially Eve, they're careless right now. But Yahweh Bashim Yahushai he's about to come in with judgment. He's about to sober these bitches up, man. Because the earth has been so long without Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's ultimate judgment, to where they don't know how to function, man. You know. So once Yahweh Bashim Yahushai starts showing his power, you know, through his man and through judgment, then these bitches will know, man. You know, that there's been a power this whole entire time been watching your ass, man. You know, and you're not slick. He knows everything about you, man. I mean, he created you. You know, and this is verse 11. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip and make you bare, and gird up sackcloth upon your loins. There shall be lament for teat, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vines. Upon the land of my people shall come thorns and burials. Ye upon all the houses of the city of joy in the joyful city, man. You know, and basically, man, these women, they're gonna lose big time, man. You know, when all hell breaks loose, they're gonna lose their neck. What? Most of these women, they spend $50-some on some damn nails, man. You know, getting their nails done. You know, some women, I don't even know how they wipe their ass with their nails, man. You know, they spend a whole bunch of money getting makeup done. You know, and what's the craziest part about it, man? These bitches, they'll be so confident when they got makeup on, but when they take off the makeup, they're a whole completely different person, man. You know, it's like. Man, we just gotta get the hell up out of here, man. For real, though. And then some of these bitches, they look way better with makeup on. They look way better with makeup on than without it, man. And that's just truth, man. And some of them, they look horrible with makeup on. It'd be the most pretty girls that be wearing makeup, man. You know? And it's like, damn. You know, foundation, however that they said, man. Some of these bitches don't need makeup, man, because some of them, it just messes up their face. That's why they got blackheads and spots all over their goddamn face when they take that makeup off, man. You know, Esau knows what he's doing, man. You know, playing with these bitches' minds, man. You know, using psychology on them, man, through apps, through media, through what they see, through what the algorithm feeds them. You know, through using famous people to say simp ass shit, man. You know, most of these famous people, they'll say simp ass shit to get a positive reaction, man. To get some recommendation or what's that word, man? To get something, you know, to get money, incentive or something like that, man. You know, most of these men that's famous, man, they don't deal with one woman. You know, they don't cater to one woman. You know, they know that these bitches are out here hoeing around, slutting around, and you know what? You know, they'll pay for coochie, man. You know, and people will get mad at you for paying for coochie, but you got NFL players and football players paying for coochie all the time, man. These rappers paying for coochie, man. And these bitches is giving it up one way or another, free or you know, buying, man. You know? But it's just the world that we live in, man. That's why we got to get the hell up out of here. You know, and enough of my rant. I got this real quick. Matthew chapter 24, verse 19. And woe unto them that are with child, to them that give suck in those days, man. And these bitches out here that's pregnant and stuff, man, they gonna be lost in the sauce, man. Cause when this draft happens, or when the troops are in America, man, running around, drilling, killing people, they're gonna have a rude awakening, man. You know, and it has to come, man. You know, cause America has been it's been too long to where these bitches are prideful, man. Even the heathen nations, man, they're prideful too. You know, they'll come from different countries just to come over here and get money and talk shit and look down on Jake, man. You know, they'll look down on us, man. And you know, for the heathen nations, it's a love and hate relationship, man. You know, they love our music, they love our so-called culture, man. You know, which is not even our culture, but they love the entertainment that we give them, but they hate Jake, man. They hate how we they hate us, man. You know, and it's weird, man. You know, that's why if we didn't have to be among these heathens, man, and among Esau and Edom, man, we will be far gone, man. You know. And not just that, I think they'll even try to come look for us, man. You know, that's the worst thing about it, man. It's a love and hate relationship with these heathens, man. You know, which they love looking down on us. They love feeling like their shit doesn't stink, man. You know, which they going through it too with their women, man. You know, they'll get these women from They'll get married with these women in their country, man, and they'll act right. And then as soon as these women come to America, now they controlling them, man. Now they saying, if you don't do this, I'm gonna leave your ass, man. You know, and that's just how America is, man. So even the heathen men is can't control his women over here in America, man. You know, and that's some crazy shit, man. You know. But getting to the video, this is Daytona Beach, you know, and this happened 5 days ago. I thought it happened yesterday, but this is a video of I guess people went for spring break. They went for spring break, and a shooting took place, man. You know, and everybody's now saying that it's a fatigue on fucking slot. This is fatigue on Israelites, man. You know, which we're tired of the 2/3, man. It is a fatigue, especially these loud ass, obnoxious women, man. You know, that can't cook, that can't clean. You know, that could barely take care of her damn self, man. You know, Esau Edom, he knew how to manipulate and how to use these bitches to their full extent, man. You know, that's the crazy part, man. He knew that if he put the woman above the men and do all that shit, the men will fall in line, man. You know, The men will come complacent with their attitudes and with their way to be, man. You know, he knew if he created the YNs and the niggas, you know, they'll and make it, you know, and not make it, but what's that word? And flourish the culture, man, and whatnot, and give these niggas, man. Why do you see YNs with a lot of money, and then you got Israelite men, you know, broke as hell, regular Israelite men trying to make it. We don't tote guns, we don't trap, you know, we just trying to make it, and we're broke. But then you got the ones that toting guns, killing each other, you know. When the white man comes out with the army, you know, they stand up straight. No sir, yes sir. You know that's because we know, because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua put us in this predicament. But you know, it's just getting old, man. You know, we see the same shit. You know, now these women are out here for spring break and doing all types of wickedness and abominations, man. You know, it just needs to stop, man. You know, sooner or later, man, it just needs to stop. You know, and Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is gonna put an end to it. You know, if you like it or not. So, getting into this topic, this is South Florida 6. Video shows chaotic scenes at Daytona Beach during spring break. According to Daytona Beach officials, they are collaborating with the public safety officials to make sure that what's seen over the weekend doesn't happen again, man. You know, several videos from Daytona captured a chaotic scene as large crowds overtook the beach during spring break, prompting police to get involved. According to the beach officials, they are okay, I already read that. But let's get right into it.
You're addressing spring break chaos seen over the weekend. Maybe you've seen the videos of the crowds on social media. Here's just some of them if you haven't. Officials say there was an unsanctioned spring break gathering that brought large crowds out to the beach. And during the chaos, there was a claim that a shooting had happened, which sent people running for cover. We heard from the Volusia County Sheriff earlier today.
Beach was trashed, as you would expect when you have that many people coming in there. So we'll see what this week has in store for us.
Yeah, the sheriff says there were 4 shootings that happened Saturday, but were not related to the beach crowds.
And there you go, man. It don't make no damn sense. These people don't make no damn sense, man. You know, and it's not. It's the YNs and the hot girls, man. You know, they can never sit their ass down, man. You know, and we all can experience that. We got one of those nieces, not nieces, but, you know, could be nieces or aunties and uncles that always wants to go out clubbing, you know. Like you're 30, about to hit your 40s, and you still want to go out and club and shake your ass and drink when you got kids, man. You know, what does that show your kids, man? You know, that just puts them in the same mindset of these YNs, man. You know. And it's not really, you know, this whole culture, this whole Israelite culture needs to die out. As soon as this culture gets wiped out, man, you know, Israel will be way off, way better and way off, better off without this culture, man. You know, which is not even our culture for real. But Esau, Edom, they created this to keep us suppressed, man. You know. To keep us dumb and stupid, man. You know? This is Esau's creation, you know? These YNs and so forth, man. You know? And everybody's glorifying this way of being, man. Acting ghetto, acting not really being not really having damn common sense, man. You know? You know, he promotes this, man. He promotes our culture being, well, not our culture, I keep saying our culture, but the culture being drugs and and all types of wickedness, man. You know, to keep us suppressed, to keep us under, man. You know, think about it, man. This is how the FBI and the CIA and stuff has constantly infiltrated and what's that word? Deconstruct or deconstruct. No, this is how they always infiltrated and fucked up Jake, man. You know, brothers know. Black Panther, so forth. With that MK movement, ML movement, all the movements that it was supposed to be. Even when we had our own Black Wall Street, man. I'm pretty sure there was a CIA and FBI people involved too, man. So it's always been there. And as the same way as they infiltrated all those movements, don't you think they're among us, man? Don't you think they're watching us, man? They're gonna do the same shit again, man. But this time, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is gonna defend us, man. We're not gonna have to live through this cycle of being ever again, man. This is only for a limited a time, man. And as soon as they do that, man, that's when power is gonna step in, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is gonna step in, man. Cause without our power, man, without Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, protecting us and keeping us, man, we have no might to fight against these damn devils, man. We will be in these damn devils' hands forever, man. And they'll make sure that they don't let us go, man, like as Pharaoh did, because they know that as soon as they let the Israelites go, man, this kingdom is gonna fall, man. So they can talk shit about us and how we don't do this and that, but without us, man, like brothers and myself, we always say, man, without us, this whole entire system, this whole entire society will fall, man. And they know it too. They know it. It's one of them conversations to where they don't want to admit it, but they know deep down, without black people and without so-called black people and Hispanics and the tribes, man, this system will plummet, man. This whole society, their whole entire kingdom will plummet, man. And they know it too, At least the ones that's smart, man. You got dumb America, and if you don't want to be here, you can go, you can leave, If you don't want to be here, you can just get up and go. 90% of Jakes out here, man, we don't got no damn money to just get up and go, Nor do we have resources, nor do half of our people have damn common sense to where we was to group up and move to a different location with just us. Will we survive, man? We still got Jakes out here that complained back then, in the wilderness, man. So how much more when we just group up and go somewhere, man? Jake will be trying to get the white man and calling on the white man, or we would have been better if we was back in Egypt, man. We would have been better if we was back in America, And then, this is why our people gotta go, man. Because our people can't nation build here, man. As soon as we get up and go, you will have some Jake trying to exploit us, man. Trying to get us to lying and sneaking and trying to converse with our enemies to get money off of us, man. So our people has to go, man. A new bloodline, a new generation of Israelites will have to replace the ones that we have today, man. And that's coming, man. That's the 144,000. Yahuwah Shem Yahushua is gonna restart this world over, man. You know, through the line that he chooses, the 144,000. You know, a pure line, man. You know, a righteous line, man. You know, but I'm gonna get a couple of videos, man. And this is the black fatigue, man. You know, everybody's getting tired of it. You know, we're coming down to the wire, and you know, you still got niggas acting like niggas, and these hoes acting like fucking hoes, man. You know, which they, these we still got women acting like hot girl summer. Like the world isn't about to go into a major damn chaos into war, man. And this shows you, man, this generation is fucking stupid, man. You know, you still got women and shit trying to build their bodies and fucking go to spring break when all hell's about to break loose, when there's not gonna be jobs you can go to, when you're not gonna when you're not gonna be catered upon, man. You're not gonna have no a nail shop you can go to, no hair salon you can go to, you know, when social media is gonna be limited, man, you know, or wiped, however that they gonna do this shit, man. You know, most of these bitches stay on their phones, man. You know, if you ever took a girl's phone and you know, you brothers, you probably experienced it or seen it at school or wherever, man. These bitches, they'll it's like their whole life source is in their phone, man. You know, I damn near took my girl, one of my old girl's phone, man, and she tried to tackle my ass, man. You know, she tried to fucking tackle me, man. And she ran. I never seen this bitch ran, but she ran so fucking fast, man. You know, I had to run like I was in damn football practice, man. How fast she ran for me, man. You know, but damn near, you know, I already knew the game. I already knew she was probably talking to somebody else, but that's just the liberty that Esau and Edom gives them, man. You know, and they cater to these women emotions, man, to make them feel like it's okay. You know, everything's okay, man. No, but carrying on, getting to this video real quick.
The video where the Houston Rodeo got shut down, and would you want to take a few guesses to why the Houston Rodeo got shut down? I'll give you a few hints, right? It's not actual cowboys and cowgirls. It's niggas. Niggas got the Houston Rodeo shut down. And you say, John, why do you say that? Go watch the videos. It's the behavior, it's the dresses, it's the lack of accountability, it's the lack of decency, it's a lack of respect for law enforcement. Niggas. It's nothing. So I saw the video.
My bad.
The Houston Rodeo. Niggas got the Houston Rodeo shut down. And you say, John, why do you say that? Go watch the videos. It's the behavior, it's the dresses, it's the lack of accountability, it's the lack of decency, it's a lack of respect for law enforcement. Niggas. It's nothing new. Like, y'all know it, but y'all can't say it. So I'm gonna say it for you. Niggas got the Houston Rodeo shit shut down. I don't know why anyone in Houston would want to even invite this crowd out to this. It makes no sense, man. Like, it was cool, and it was just like Bun B and, you know, Slim Thug and all these, like, you know, like, give them a couple nights. But they've turned it into Freaknik. Shut it down.
Are you bitches going to the rodeo or the adult video awards? Because the way y'all dress, I can't tell if y'all going to the rodeo to ride horses or ride dick. You do know this is a family event, right? You do know children are going to be there, right? But I forgot. Who the fuck cares about children, right? Who the fuck cares what they see? As long as you do your bum ass photo shoot for your bum ass followers on Instagram and TikTok, who the fuck cares about the children? Right?
The ghetto. The ghetto. The ghetto.
I think we all saw this coming, right? Right? Absolutely. After this weekend, they was like, nah, we ain't waiting till next year. This is enforced today, this hour, this second. All right, this is what they said. And overall, there's a lot of things in this new dress code policy, but the main thing overall, no butt cheeks out. That's what they basically saying. That's the number one overall rule for this. No butt cheeks out. You know what I'm saying? And as a native Houstonian man, when I go to rodeo, like other Houstonian men, we look forward to seeing all the gorgeous Texas ladies coming out with the rodeo looks, the Daisy Dukes, the cowboy boots, different arrangements though. The butt cheeks, however, you know what I'm saying? Some butt cheeks were good butt cheeks, you know what I'm saying? But the other butt cheeks, a lot of the butt cheeks we saw this year. If your butt cheeks like my butt cheeks, put them up. Like I said last time, you know what I'm saying? Because some of y'all was out here wilding, man. Some of them butt cheeks I saw, I said it last video. Some of them butt cheeks need to be lifted up in jeans and in prayer. You know what I'm saying? Cover them up. What do you think dress code? Let me know.
Oh my good Lord.
I'm outside at the rodeo and a new ick has been unlocked. When you see a girl with like shorts on or a skirt and the bottom of her ass cheeks are hanging out of the skirt or shorts, that shit is an ick. Why do you need attention that bad?
I think we all saw this coming, right?
There you go, man. There you go, man. It's been a fatigue, you know, on these women, man. You know, these women, you know, everything, even in this society, man, everything is so hypersexualized, you know, to the point to where it's bad, man. You know, everything is hypersexualized, man. You know, even down to a damn 12-year-old, man. You know, the shit that these 12-year-olds be wearing, man. You know, and not just that, the parents let them walk out the house with this shit on, man. You know, and they wonder why there's damn creeps lurking around every corner, man. You know, and so think about it. How much more when society collapses, man, and when 911 is not responding, man, to calls, man. You know, how much more when society collapses and this shit falls, man? How much more will these women and children be, man? You know, they're gonna be spoiled, man. You know, and we can only say it for so long and on repeat until the day it actually happens, man. You know, because there's gonna come a time to where Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is gonna say, you know what? Enough is enough. Let the games begin. Let that action take place on the planet Earth, man. You know, and it's like however long that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua got us got us out here, man. We're gonna keep saying it, but there's gonna come a time to where the action has to come forth, man. You know, and the words is going to stop, man. You know, there's gonna be a famine out here of hearing the word, man. You know, soon come. You know, and it's crazy, man. It's really crazy how Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua got some of these people so deaf and so blind and so dumb to the fact to where they'll have to hear Beyonce or Kanye tell them that the world is ruled by elites and Satan worshipers and whatnot, to where people finally get it, man. You know, and you'll see on the damn TikTok, one dude, he was like, dude, Kanye been saying this for the longest, bro. You know, but who's been saying it longer than Kanye, man? The apostles in them, man. Who's been going into detail and facts, man? The apostles in them. But it speaks for itself, man. You're finally understanding that we live in a evil and wicked society ran by satanic pedophiles, man. You know, pedos, man. You know, you're finally comprehending it. You know, what year is this? 2026, and you're finally realizing it, man. You know, these people are cooked, man. You know, like Blueface. You know, sometimes, you know, I'll be watching Blueface for entertainment. You know, but what he say, man? Yo, he said nuke the whole generation, man. You know, and that's what Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is gonna do. He's gonna nuke the whole generation, man. You know, because this generation is stupid, man. And not just that, they're wicked too. You know, they don't have no common sense or no decency, man. You know, they lived their whole life in this evil and wicked satanic world, man, to where they grew up evil and wicked as hell, man. You know. So what he say, man? Nuke the whole generation, man. You know. So, you know, the black fatigue is real. You know, the black fatigue is real, man. You know, and it's only gonna get worse from here. We're gonna see, cause I guess they got boots on the ground in Israel. So I mean, things are heating up, man. We're only moving forward, brothers and sisters. We can only move forward because that's the only thing we can do. There's no turning back. There's no what if things get better? Things are not going to get better, man. The elites, they're running out of time. They know that they're running out of time. So they're gonna use this. You know, this is a major event. They're not gonna let this event slide without using this however that they choose to use it, man. You know, they're gonna use this event to go ahead and get this thing started, to get the MOTB up and kicking, man. You know, they're not gonna waste this event, man. You know, that's their little slogan, man. What? No event goes unwasted, man. You know, so they're gonna use this, man. You know, however that they use it, man. You know, and they're already talking about people getting drafted, so we'll see how this goes, man. So, you know, I hope this video was, you know, edifying, you know, and I like to give all praises and glory goes to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Yakarkodash, double and honors to the elders at GMS who's pushing this truth with all truth and sincerity. So, Shalom.